What would you see if you could hit a cosmic rewind button? Imagine traveling backward past the era of the dinosaurs, past the formation of the Earth, all the way to the very beginning. At the absolute end of that rewind, the stars and planets vanish. You arrive at a state of total pitch-black silence. Out of that darkness sat a single, blindingly glowing, incredibly tiny dot of vibrating energy. Scientists call this the Singularity. Just think of a violently squished jack-in-the-box. The immense pressure inside this tiny dot held the potential for every single star, planet, and galaxy we see today. Before our universe existed, all matter, all space, and even time itself were trapped in this single microscopic seed. Rather than an explosion inside a pre-existing room, the Big Bang was the sudden growth of the room itself. This grid represents the fabric of space stretching outward from a single point. This expansion was driven by intense heat. The fabric of the universe pushed outward with unimaginable energy. As this energy finally had room to stretch out, it began to cool down. This cooling process allowed energy to transform, gathering into the first stars, planets, and eventually us. Astrophysics provides a scientific bridge from that initial seed to the vast universe we live in today. While modern scientists use telescopes to uncover these facts, ancient Indian thinkers reached the same conclusions 3,500 years ago using meditation and logic. They documented their theories in a text called the Rig Veda. One specific poem, the Nasadiya Sukta, describes the very moment the universe began. In astrophysics, what looks like empty space is actually a bubbling, invisible soup of energy constantly popping in and out of existence. The ancient poem shares this view, stating that absolute nothingness did not exist before creation. Both the scientist and the sage describe a pre-universe void full of hidden, waiting energy, a state the poem calls the cosmic dark water. We can see this same connection when we look at the scientific idea of the singularity, the tiny, dense dot that held everything. The ancient text describes this as tadekam, or the One, a single concentrated force resting quietly in the dark. To explain what caused that resting force to suddenly wake up and expand, we have to look at the trigger. Modern science points to intense, primordial heat as the engine of expansion. The ancient sages wrote that creation was sparked by Tapas, which is the direct Vedic word for intense cosmic heat. These ancient verses describe the same sequence of events that modern science spent centuries uncovering, using the language of poetry to describe cosmic mechanics. Even with our most advanced math, science hits a wall at the exact millisecond the Big Bang started. Scientists admit we don't yet know exactly what happened in that tiny fraction of a second before the expansion began. The ancient sages expressed this same humility regarding the limits of human knowledge. The Nasadiya Sukta ends with a question. Who really knows how it began? Maybe the Creator knows, or maybe even they don't. Astrophysics and ancient Vedic wisdom are two different languages telling the same epic story of where we came from. The cosmos is still full of secrets waiting to be understood. These ultimate mysteries are waiting for the next generation of curious minds to step forward and explore them.